Now I should be ashamed. How could I forget Sean Deion Hamilton and Ryan Anderson? Sean Deion Hamilton, Ryan Anderson, the Bama boys are going to have a great season this year, especially Sean Deion with Ruben Foster. Oh my God. Look up the highlights. I'm telling you guys, they used to be nasty together. But bear with me, man. I only could put a few. YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another video, and in today's video we're going to be going over some players that I believe are going to have a breakout season and a showout season in 2020. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case our Washington Redskins. And let's get straight into today's video. So obviously, number one on the list of a player that I think is going to have a breakout season in 2020 is none other than our quarterback. None other than our quarterback, Dwayne Haskins. A lot of people still to this day believe that Dwayne Haskins is going to be a bust, and it's not going to pan out to what he is today. But I'm here, one, to tell you that that's not true, man. I don't care if Dwayne Haskins goes out there and be a clock manager like Alex Smith did in 2018 before he had that horrific leg injury. It was winning us games. I don't care. I know Dwayne Haskins' strong suit is to go throw the ball, get us 50 touchdowns with what he did in Ohio State. I'm not expecting that out of him, man. Long as we win football games and he plays efficient, I don't care about having a quarterback that lights up the scoreboard. I just want to get wins. And that's what a lot of people think Dwayne Haskins is like. That's why a lot of people call him a bust. They think that he's just not good enough. But my man has been putting in the work all off season. If you keep up with his social media, you know that he's been putting in this work. I mean, I made a video a couple weeks ago, or matter of fact, at least last week, where I was talking about how he lost 10 pounds and 5% body fat. So Dwayne Haskins have been putting in that work day and night to get better as a quarterback. Yesterday he was working out with Antonio Brown. He was working out with Antonio Brown, and a lot of people were making that as to a bigger deal than what it was. Why do you think I didn't report on it? I report on everything about the Washington Redskins, and I was just like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not what a lot of people think it's going to be. So Dwayne Haskins was working out with Antonio Brown yesterday, and of course, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, can he come to the Redskins? Can he come to the Redskins?" You know how everyone does. If Dwayne Haskins workouts with another player, let's just say Saquon Barkley, you already know what the comments are going to be. So that's why I didn't look too much into that. But back on the topic of Dwayne Haskins, my man has been putting in this work, and you could just tell it's starting to pay off. He's very serious about his craft, and he really wants to be a great quarterback in this league, and that's what I'm expecting him to do this year. I'm expecting him to have a breakout season. Finally, that he has a quarterback and a coach that is all about him. Last year when he entered the league, he was just thrown into the fire. He was set up for failure. He didn't have a coach that wanted him or believed in him or built a scheme around his talents and his playing style. So now that he has a quarterback or a coach that is going to be able to have an offense around his player style, I feel as though that he's going to be able to be good in the NFL. We all know Dwayne Haskins' playing style, and what he thrives at the most is throwing the ball. And what is the air corridor offense? I feel like we talk about the air corridor offense every video, but what is the air corridor offense does? It is a throwing vertical passing offense. What Dwayne Haskins thrives in the most. So like I said, finally that Dwayne Haskins has a coach and an NFL scheme and Scott Turner that is all about Dwayne Haskins, he's going to thrive. So that's the first person that I believe is going to be have a showout season in 2020. None other than our second-year quarterback, Dwayne Haskins. Now moving on. Another player that is surprising a lot of people that I think is flying under the radar, that is set up for a great year this upcoming year, is none other than wide receiver Kelvin Harmon. Terry McLaurin and Steven Sims is like, we don't have to talk about them having a showout season in 2020 because we're already expecting them to have a showout season in 2020. So that's why these guys are not going to be on the list. Steven Sims and or Terry McLaurin isn't going to be on this list because we already are expecting them to have a breakout year in 2020. So we don't need to put Terry McLaurin or Steven Sims on this list. We need to put guys like Kelvin Harmon who are flying under the radar. I believe Kelvin Harmon is going to be the second comings of one Terry McLaurin. He's going to be his partner in crime, whether that's Antonio Gandy Golden or Kelvin Harmon. But once again, I made a video on that a couple days ago, whether Kelvin Harmon or AGG is the best fit for the second spot of the wide receiver rotation. And I put Kelvin Harmon. And I believe Kelvin Harmon is going to be one of the better receivers this season. He's flying under the radar. 365 passing yards, 30 receptions, 0 touchdowns last season with the limited amount of snaps that he did get last season. He didn't get the same amount of snaps that Terry McLaurin and Steven Sims once did. Steven Sims started to come along week 4, week 5, especially in the punt return, kick return game, and the passing game now. And Terry McLaurin obviously was the number 1 receiver from week 1. Now, Kevin Harmon, he started to come along later in the season to where he only got 365 and 30 receptions. 365 yards, 30 receptions. So now I feel as though with a whole offseason to work out with Dwayne Haskins, you're getting that chemistry. You're getting that chemistry. They've been working out since February. I know we've been talking about this a lot, but he's been working out with one Kevin Harmon and Dwayne Haskins since February. So that chemistry should be good. I think Kevin Harmon is going to fly under the radar this season. Once again, a lot of people isn't going to know his name, but he's going to put up a lot of stats. I'm telling you, he's going to kill cornerbacks in the passing coverage. He's a guy you can just throw it up and he'll go get it. You throw it up, he'll just go get it. And his route running is very good to be 6'2". He's gonna be really good. He's gonna be really good. Now, another player that I've been thinking that is going to be have a show-out season in 2020 is none other than one Ruben Foster. If Ruben Foster is healthy, I feel as though Ruben Foster is going to be having that chip on his shoulder to where we know the 49ers released him because of one, a domestic violence issue, multiple repeated domestic violence issues. But when the Washington Redskins came up and got him, he tears the ACL. Now he's back to being healthy, and I feel as though that he's going to have a chip on his shoulder to where he wants to prove everyone wrong and still show that he still has some left in the tank. He's very young, he's very fast, and we know how hard-hitting he is. So moving on to the next player, I think Nicole Holcomb. Now, I want to put everybody on this list, but I know I can't because I already can see the comments into the future. How did you forget this guy? I can't put everybody on the list. Although I feel as though everyone as a team is going to have a great season this year, I have to pick out a couple players. My next person on my list is none other than one Nicole Holcomb. Cole Holcomb will have yet another season. He flew under the radar last year. He led all rookies in tackles last year. And I just don't see how he's not being talked about a lot. He's not being talked about a lot, but Cole Holcomb is really good. Now, the only thing about his weakness is his pass coverage. Now, but he can work on that. He can work on that. He's only into his second year, so I'm pretty sure he's working on his pass coverage, defending tight ends, running backs on the backfield, stuff like that. But he did lead the league in tackles last year as far as rookies. So I think it's only him going up from here. There's no way he can get worse. He's only going up from here. He's another player that I believe that can have a great season up and coming. Another player on my list that I feel as though that can have a star-studded season this upcoming year is none other than Darius Geis. Darius Geis, man, we know how talented Darius Geis is. Darius Geis, when healthy, is a great running back and probably can be top 10 in the league if he stays healthy. Notice I said if he stays healthy. When he's healthy, he's probably unstoppable. We know he's that bulldozing running back. He can catch passes out the backfield. He showed you his speed last year. He showed you his speed last year in that Jets game where he caught that screen for a touchdown, where he got his first career touchdown, passing touchdown that is, and Dwayne Haskins' first touchdown as an NFL player. We know how fast he can be at times. He's really a good running back, and I think he can be a top-tier running back, top 5 that is, if he can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, more realistic is top 10. But when he's healthy, we know how good he is. That Panthers game with him and AP both rushed for over 100 yards and a touchdown, 2 touchdowns that is, they were really good. We can see from the last start of the season, we wanted them to be that 1-2 punch combo, and we've seen that in that Panthers game for a very short time. Green Bay game where he was balling before he got hurt. The Jets game, he showed flashes. So now if he can just stay healthy, I think he really can be a good piece to this team, and he will have a star-studded season in 2020. He does have to stay healthy for that to happen. Now, the next person on my list that I feel as though that can be a great addition to the Washington Redskins and a great have a star-studded season in 2020 is none other than Kendall Fuller, baby. Kendall Fuller. We just got Kendall Fuller back, and I feel as though he's going to be home. He's going to be home now. The Kansas City Chiefs, although he did get a ring last year, congratulations on that, and he caught a pick in the Super Bowl. I feel as though Kendall Fuller, he was better here in Washington. I'm not being biased at all, but the stats shows it. The stats shows that he was used more often as in Washington than he was in Kansas City, and I feel as though that we're not going to just use him as a slot receiver or a slot cornerback, although that's where he thrives and plays best ball at. I feel as though we're paying him too much money just to use him in the slot. So we should have him battling outside sometimes, maybe see what he got. But I think Kendall Fuller is really going to be another good player and have a star-studded season in 2020. He's gonna get that. He's gonna get that chemistry with the back end of the guys, such as Landon Collins, Fab Monroe. I mean, he already knows the guys. He already knows the guys, but it's a lot of new faces here since he's been here in Washington. So he still got to learn the guys such as Jimmy Moreland, Fab, Colvin. Obviously he knows Fab, but Colvin, Landon Collins, Sean Davis, all those guys. But yeah, Kendall Fuller will be having a great season this upcoming year, and I feel as though he's going to be another guy that's going to be a leader on this defense and help this defense be as star-studded as we already are expecting it. Now, none other than the next person on the list, obviously, is Chase Young. I'm expecting him to have a star-studded Defensive Rookie of the Year campaign season next year or this upcoming year. I expect him to have at least 8 sacks. 8 sacks. I don't expect him to fill up the stat sheet as far as just sacks. I think he's going to be all around the field. I think the biggest thing about Defensive Rookie of the Year or winning that is when you fill up more than one category. Yes, we know Chase Young can get sacks, but he can drop back in coverage. He's fast. He can bat down. He can force fumbles. He can recover fumbles and pick it up for touchdowns. He's going to be a stat sheet stuffer. We know how talented he is. He can get sacks, but he's going to be a stat sheet stuffer. So that's another player that I think is going to be have a star season in 2020. The next person I want to talk about here is none other than Landon Collins. We're paying Landon Collins $85 million in his total contract. Obviously, most of that is incentives, but he needs to earn it. He needs to earn it, and I think he's finally going, since he's going to be comfortable playing in the box where he thrives the most as a tackling machine. I think that he's going to be able to thrive in the Jack Del Rio's offense since he's going to be in a 4-3 defense once again. He came into a system where he wasn't really comfortable in. Now that he's going to be back into a system that he knows the best, which is the 4-3, I think Landon Collins will have one of his better seasons. Now, he did have a great season last year as far as the tackling aspect, but we need him flying around the ball. But that's not what we said. That's not what we got him for. That's not what we got him for. So I can't expect him to be getting interceptions like one Jamal Adams, or you can say Jabril Peppers too. But he's a box safety. He's a box safety, and I think that he's going to thrive the best at that this year. And yeah, man. So I think that Nicole Holcomb will have a Pro Bowl season this year. That's probably one of the Pro Bowl seasons that I think is going to happen for the Washington Redskins. I think obviously Brandon Sheriff is going to have a Pro Bowl season. Tress Way, of course. But yeah, man, those are just a few players that I feel as though that's going to have a tough season this year. And that's going to be great. That's going to be great for this team. Of course, I feel as though that the whole NFL team is going to be. And of course, I feel as though that the whole Washington Redskins team is going to have a successful season this year. Everyone is going to be better than they were last year. That was just a couple players that I wanted to talk about here today. So as always, main boy One Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, held to the Redskins. Turn on post notifications so you can notify and upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Redskins. Once again, those were a couple players in my opinion. Who do you think that that are gonna break out this season? Who do you think that I left out? In my opinion, like I said, I'll be doing another video like this when preseason probably starts. I'll be having more players. This was just like a couple. I want to say 5-6 players on my list that I think are gonna break out this upcoming season. As always, main boy One Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, held to the Redskins. The floor is yours. I gave you my opinion. Peace.